Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Discworld Noir. So I figured out that I had missed a thing in this area. Don't know if it's possible to find it without turning into a wolf first. So let's do that quickly. But yeah, I figured out what I was doing wrong. Mainly by looking on the internet.
The scents seem to originate from some kind of moss.
Okay. Can I pick up that some kind of moss now? Oh, if the controls were better, this would not be so annoying, I imagine. It was like around there, right? Or is it closer to where I was? Where was the moss? Let's just dash around wild. Oh, there it was. Okay, so it is quite close to my body. Yeah. Go get it, Luton. Luton the Putin. Let's turn you towards me. There we go. Really taking the time. Don't know why that area seems to be so laggy. And then here I was like, whoa, hey! No, that's not what I want. How do I get to Luton's inventory? Square? Circle? Start? Must be some way to look at his stuff from this page, surely. Ah, okay, that's kind of what I want. But I want, there.
Some moss, found where I was murdered. When I looked closely at it, I was convinced it was moving.
Okay. Anyway, so where we want to go next. Now, I remember it crashing here when I tried to play this last time I played it, so
like to see this
that might have been the PC version. But anyway, we want to see the count.
Can I see the count?
I am not in a position to know how good your vision is, but you may see the count, which I believe is what Sir actually meant in Sir's untutored way.
The Count's health was getting worse. He wasn't making much sense.
He was never making much sense in this Let's Play.
I knew you'd come for me sooner or later. Is it time? Is it time already? It's been such a long time, hasn't it? We've had fun together, haven't we? Soon enough.
Count?
Soon enough, my dear.
Well, count's coming on to me.
Soon enough.
Count? It's Luton.
Oh,
He cannot hear you.
Why not?
It's almost his time.
I've seen some scary things in my time. I've seen men driven mad by money or women. I've seen wars where neither side has known what they were fighting over. I've seen Nobby getting out of the shower, and believe me, that was no picnic. I didn't really discover what terror was until I found myself talking to a 7-foot-high skeleton with a scythe. You're deaf!
Am I? You know, I wondered why I was carrying the scythe around.
Am I?
Are you what? A selfish, bitter man who has yet to squander his one last chance at redemption?
Am I dead?
No. It's not your time.
I thought you might have missed me the other day when I was stabbed and you only just got around to me.
I'm famously punctual.
So why are you here?
I've come out for the count, so to speak.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I was hoping to ask him a few questions.
You seem remarkably calm for one who's just seen the defeater of empires, the swallower of oceans, the thief of years, the ultimate reality, the harvester of mankind, and the assassin against whom no lock will hold. That's me, in case you have trouble with long sentences.
It's been that kind of week. How long has he got?
That depends on you.
On me? I thought our time was allocated by the fates.
It is true that fate is the ultimate master of life and death. But even fate takes a back seat to the laws of narrative causality.
I don't understand.
Really? Who said you were supposed to?
You might give me a clue.
Let's just say that the actions of one person may change the way the whole story is told.
I don't understand.
Don't worry, it'll all become clear to you at the end.
Let's talk to the Count.
How come you're here?
I came on my horse.
What is it? A skeletal horse whose hooves spark with flames with each step?
No. Just my horse. I call him Binky.
And he's not a skeleton?
He happens to be very well fed and looked after, thank you very much.
I still don't understand why you're here. I mean, you're death. Shouldn't you be everywhere?
I am everywhere.
But you're here.
Yes. As well. Don't try to work it out. Even I don't fully understand it. It involves really complicated numbers.
You turn up like this for everyone?
Generally, I'm only expected to make an actual appearance on special occasions.
And this is a special occasion?
Not yet. I've arrived ahead of time. But there's going to be a lot of business in Ankh-Morpork soon. So it doesn't hurt for me to get here a little early.
You wouldn't care to tell me more about this, I suppose.
The immediate future is not a matter on which I propose to enlighten you. No.
How come I can see you? Is it something to do with me being a werewolf?
In a sense. It has much more to do with certain other matters.
Such as?
Ordinarily, I am only perceived by those who are about to die.
So you are invisible? That must be useful.
I'm not invisible as such. People just can't see me. They won't allow themselves to do it. Until it's time, of course. Wizards can see me, and cats. Odd, really, but there you go.
But I can see you.
Indeed. People in a state of heightened awareness sometimes stop seeing what they expect to see and start seeing what is really there.
Like with Gaspode.
Frankly, I think your seeing me has more to do with your quest for the golden sword.
You know about that?
I've been around. I hear things.
Why should the sword be a factor?
Well, it's more to do with narrative causality, as I said.
It's not really a quest. I mean, I'm just investigating a few murders.
Believe me, I know. I was there.
You mentioned narrative causality before.
Did I? I must be becoming careless.
Why? Aren't you allowed to discuss it?
It's not exactly against the rules. But it might ruin it if I told you.
Ruin what?
The story.
Okay, now that we finally got through that, for now at least, I know we want to show him that moss.
I don't suppose you know anything about mosses.
Moss? Did you say moss? Plants. Yes. Lots of plants here. Can't remember much about them these days. The memory fails. There are books, though. I forget where. Ah, yes. The library's Apocrypha. All the books are there, you know?
May I use the library?
Eh? What was that, my boy? The library. Ah, yes. The library's Apocrypha. All the books are there, you know? You can use it if it will help your inquiries. How go your inquiries? Have you heard from Reagan?
No. Not yet.
Poor
This
Count.
room contains the von Uberwald's Libraris Apocrypha. So will, I trust, be careful not to damage any of the priceless tomes housed within.
I'll be careful.
One would be very upset if one was to return to find, sir, perhaps folding paper animals from a priceless folio edition of the Dictionary of Eye-Watering Words.
What are they?
They are books, sir.
I realize that. What are they about?
The Libraris Apocrypha is a collection of obscurities and rare volumes from across the continent. If knowledge were an animal, the Libraris would be a great dragon. Sir, by the same scale, would be a kebab on an ant's barbecue.
I'll be careful.
Okay, I remember what to do here. That's fine. Don't really want to become a werewolf. Let's do it anyway.
Although I appeared to be alone, I found it hard to believe I wasn't being watched.
Oh,
I wouldn't trust me with all those valuable books, and the butler certainly didn't.
go to the index. No, this is where it went wrong before. Let's hope it doesn't do it this time. I remember when I tried to do it before, he just walked off and never
I
came
found
back.
a copy of
Oh.
Orange...
Orange Crates on the Nature of Plants. The book was a tediously detailed study of the plant kingdom and one of the most boring things I've ever read, but I found the moss in there.
Apparently it was
Oh.
a lycanthrope, a type of animate moss with crude locomotion, found only in the worst sewers in the most decrepit urban areas. Apparently the lycanthrope looked like harmless moss until something to eat walked by. Then they transformed into a deadly lichen and devoured
Dear.
their prey, at least as long as it was small enough. Otherwise they just clung on for dear life.
We came back as a good start. Then we... Oh, no, this. Back passage.
I checked through the library and found some ancient plans of the city of Arm, their prey.
Of
At
Arm.
least as
There was an intricate sewer system beneath the city. It must be thousands of years old.
it would be in through the library. And
It would be in
found some
quite a
ancient
state if it
plans
was still
of the
around,
city of
and
Arm,
so
their prey. At
I
least as long as
would
it was
what?
small enough.
Tell it would be under the water line if there wasn't a drought on. Oh, okay, yeah, it would be under the water line. Fair enough. You coming back, dear? Given the rains that we had recently, I could only find one section of sewer that might be above water. I guess the designers weren't allowed to put sewers under the palace grounds, which might have been why the Royal Summer Palace of the Kings of Ankh was a long way away from Ankh-Morpork. This, that and the stench of the Ankh, anyway. Yes! Okay, Luton has finally finished reading that information. He now knows where the thing is. Give me a chance to say it. Give me a chance to say it. Okay. Luckily, I saved in the libraries because, like, first time I had to go all the way back to us being at Saturnalia, which was kind of annoying. Not the end of the world, but like I didn't want to have to keep doing that over and over again. But it took at least 6 attempts, I think, to get through that entire conversation. Okay, let's go. Whew. This port is terrible and old now, which makes it even less likely to work. But we did it. Now we can go to the sewers. So basically he was saying the sewers would smell because it would be too hot, I guess, for the Summer Palace. Or something like that, I don't know. I think that's them there. There we go. Now if I recall correctly, this bit is a pain in the arse because it's like a crazy maze. But I might be wrong. I might just be stupid.
The ancient civic plans from the library led me straight to the sewer's entrance, not far from the Mortland Bridge. A relatively small tunnel was concealed beneath a pile of debris that must have accumulated over the centuries. It looked as if most of the tunnels here were actually still above the water line, or the sludge line, to be more honest about it.
Okay. Let's have a quick look around. I believe we will find very little usefulness here in terms of moving through the thing. Oh, see, look, we're back where we started. Magically. Let's go back that way then. Can we go that way? Is that where I came out before? I can't remember if you need to keep doing things until he gets annoyed.
I didn't want to root around in the water. I wasn't even sure it really was water.
Yeah, so like they're completely random, I think, where you end up. So I think what we need to do is we need to turn into a wolf man.
The smell of the Ankh was unbearably strong in the sewer, and it was all I could do to remain conscious.
Anything other than dense light green frogs? Fog? Doesn't look like it. It looks like there's something going on down there, but I don't think it's really a thing.
The smell of the Ankh.
Maybe we don't need to do that. I thought we could get through the sewers by becoming a werewolf. Or maybe it's just like a password kind of thing, like a place you have to go. Okay, I think I'm going to Google this quickly because otherwise we could be here forever. 1 second. Okay, so it seems like I need to just become a werewolf here in the second area. Yeah, there we go. Oh, press wrong button. Oh no, I didn't.
The trail that I had seen in the cemetery seemed to continue down in the sewers, starting at one of the pipes and disappearing into the passageways. It was almost drowned out by the smell of the Ankh, though.
Okay. Follow it again. Oh, here we are. Something's happened here. Debris. He doesn't want to interact with it for some reason. What about the circle button?
There was all... It looked like
What?
some kind of nest. I was strongly reminded of what I'd found in the Milka's cargo hold, only this nest seemed bigger somehow.
What happened at the beginning there? A crazy amount of
There
words.
was all manner of debris piled up inside the niche. It looked like some kind of nest. I was
Okay, but it does not want me to interact with it.
amongst the garbage was some kind of pendant.
Can I have that? Or do you need me to tell you to pick it up specifically? Because I can't see a pendant. Oh, there's debris all over the place. Is it the same debris? It seems like it's the same thing.
Amongst the
Yeah. Where's this pendant? Anyone see a pendant? I feel like we could be here a long time looking for this pendant. Can't see it anywhere. I'm assuming it'll be in the middle area where all the rubbish is, but apparently not. There's the pendant, okay. Yay!
As I stood in the alcove examining the pendant, I felt as if I wasn't alone. It was the same presence I'd felt in the Milka's hold. I could feel the cold touch of death upon me. It was a strangely light touch.
Oh.
Size obviously isn't important, I agree. You are Death, right? Rats have their own death. No offense, I mean, you're very, very intimidating. For a skeletal rat, at least.
Grim Squeaker. Let's have this
So,
conversation and then we'll call it a day.
Do you
Whoops.
come here often? I'm sorry, it's not easy to think of things to say to something like you. Well, it's not often I find myself in the sewers talking to a... What are you exactly? Exactly. So what's your connection to the big guy? You're sort of like relatives then. You probably get together for birthdays and Hogwatch night. I'd like to see that. If you don't mind me asking, were you on the Milka before? I thought so. What were you doing on the Milka? Uh-huh. No, please, go on. Did you see anything? Well, I don't know, anything unusual. Anything else? Yeah, I saw that. And that's here. This is its lair. It can't be very big.
Oh dear.
That's not very comforting. But I guess that's not your job, but comfort, I mean. I wasn't suggesting you weren't good at your job. I've never looked at it that way before. I couldn't believe it. I was talking to a phantasmal rodent. I hoped he couldn't read my thoughts. He seems easily offended. So, what's it like being the death of rats?
be fair, he makes a good point.
You don't get to talk much, do you?
Anyway, let's leave him alone. As far as I recall...
Well, it was nice meeting
sorry.
you. I have to get going. It's not like that. I have a lot of work to do. You too, huh?
Yeah, as far as I recall, he's not, like, story involved at all, so there's not really any point in me talking to him anymore about anything. Anyway, we are going to leave it there for today. Sorry it was a bit long, but it was a lot of talking, so I thought might as well crack on with that rat bit as well. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, like and subscribe, and I will see you next week when we will look into this pendant a bit more. Anyway, see you later. Bye-bye.